Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, Jackie.
Hello, Nadine. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. It's been such a prosperous week, and I'm so excited to be back with you Too Can Be Prosperous because you can.
Yep. And you know what? I just love this Friday morning with you, starting my weekend off with such beautiful work. And, this is all part of learning. At least every day, just feed your mind with something, that nourishes it, that sets you on the right path, and that gets you going. And this is a perfect way for me to start my Fridays. And I want to thank you for that. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. That's such a beautiful thought. Yeah, let's treat ourselves with some prosperity every day, every Friday.
All
Yeah,
right.
so do you want to start to read?
I will, yes. So I'm on page one. What are we on? 140. What?
You in the
142
middle.
in
Mhm.
the middle.
We actually this week have two themes. The one is repetition, and the second is rich ideas. And I chose to choose the title Rich Ideas. And yet, like repetition of the prosperity thought is the rich idea.
hmm hmm
So let's go and read how to do it.
And this is it. Once again, repetition. We've been here every Friday, and it's created a habit. And that habit then becomes part of your life. And that's exactly what repetition is all about. So, what are you repeating to yourself? What are the thoughts you're repeating to yourself? What are the disciplines you're repeating to yourself? So there you go. Thank you.
Exactly. And Donna, also a heads up. I mean, we've been doing this now for quite some time. And then there is the follow-up book because we're almost done. Can you see these people? Okay, so we're almost done. You are now invited to also go back and listen. Then Jackie and I are going to continue with putting prosperity to work, putting the prosperity idea to work. So you really want to look out for this because there we go in depth with worksheets, with like concrete exercises, with an interactive discussion. And so you're very invited. We will share more information coming up, but really mark your calendar that you're going to have a treat putting the prosperity idea to work. So there we go. It's launched now. The idea is launched. The rich idea is launched now. How are we implementing just as we go? There we go.
Right. Subconscious is repetitive and suggestible. It embodies new ideas only through repetition, feeling, and realization. And this is it. We do the repetition, but we forget the feeling. And the feeling is actually the secret. So, and to realize what realization means is that it's going to happen. It's done. That's the realization. It was
Exactly. The
only
repetition of the feeling, how it feels when it's done, not if, but how do you feel when you know that it's done? So there you go. That's it.
It responds only to the strongest and most insistent demands. It is imperative, however, that you follow to the letter the instructions to repeat the affirmations many, many times a day. When the idea contained on the card is finally integrated with the subconscious mind, it goes to work with all its power to give the idea form. And the Word was made flesh and dwell among us. The process is very similar to the process of projecting moving pictures on a screen. When the film, the pattern, engages the light, the form comes into expression. This is why repetition, imagination, and realization are so important. The idea must be registered with such depth of feeling that it engages the activity, life, and power of the creative mind. We must contemplate it and dwell upon it until it becomes our primary and basic thought. We must hold in it in we must hold it in place until every faculty and power are working toward that end. We must drive the nail to its very head. The first blow, visualization, sets the direction of the nail, but it is only by repeated blows that it is driven to its goal. I love that analogy of
Yes.
a nail and a hammer. And it is so true. You keep repeating it, and that's what happens with a negative, right? So keep repeating the positive until that nail is in place.
Yeah, absolutely. This picture is so good.
Right. So Victor Hugo said, "Nothing is so powerful in the world as an idea whose time has come. No man has ever become rich unless he has been used by a rich idea." We are all used by ideas. The unfortunate thing is that most of us allow ourselves to be used by wrong or negative ideas. Outside forces are not to blame for ills or woes. And this is it. We often point fingers, right? We often say, it's not my fault. It's that circumstance. I was born like that. This happened. That happened.
Exactly.
I like that. We are all used by ideas. The unfortunate thing is that most of us allow ourselves to be used by wrong ideas.
And
Outside,
I think also the wrong ideas is like when it just the notion of, oh, that's impossible.
are you still there, Nadine?
That's an idea. Or
Mm,
I can't, that's an idea. Or if you have tried, why not to try another way or to ask a mentor or to, I see, I'm gone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you back
There we
again. Yeah,
go. Yeah, so that's the wrong idea. It's not that you have done something false or thought about a false thing. It's the fear is a wrong idea because fear excludes prosperity. And if prosperity and prosperous ideas are the right ideas, so everything that holds you back, everything, doubt, worry, fear, like whatever is the wrong idea. And rooting that out repetitively, as we just read, that's the work.
correct. Yeah. So we are afraid of rich, abundant, and opulent ideas. We are afraid to give ourselves to the great idea and make it our own.
And how powerful is that? We are afraid of the great idea because that's really true. Yesterday, I was invited to stand on a stage with about, she said, 300 to 500 people live in the audience and over 10,000 live. And I was like, wow, that sounds attractive. And my inner self was like, that's a lot of people. What if I blame myself? And all those kinds of wrong ideas, right? And so I made a decision very quickly because I said, well, I see myself standing in front of lots of people. So that's a very good start. So of course I'm going to say yes, right? And everything else is a wrong idea. So that's the work.
Absolutely.
Never mind how big the fears are, or never mind what else is coming in. Like the prosperity idea is the leading idea. Just go for it, whatever it takes.
And the universe gives you opportunity after opportunity. It's if you're not going to take them, it's going to say, well, I keep giving her ideas and she doesn't take them.
Exactly, exactly. And also if you have a big idea and then you have this next step coming up, like this bigger stage that is like totally in the vision of what you're like, how can I not accept the idea of standing there, right? So I accept the idea, and now I have plenty of time to work through my fear and to feel comfortable to stand in front of, let's say, literally over 10,000 people, right? Live and online. Crazy.
Yep.
Fun.
All right. So one more paragraph. When we have wholeheartedly accepted a desirable idea, have made it our own, have let it become an integral part of us, we are ready for the manifestation to come into being. The importance of our choice of idea is apparent. Joshua called upon the tribes of Israel to choose he this day whom he will serve. Choose the kind of ideas that you are going to express.
Yes. And also, this week I've been working with a client on raising her raising her prices, right? I mean, inflation hits and everyone is raising prices, so it's also on us, the coaches, to stand our price, right? We have to pay the same bills that get bigger and bigger. So I was suggesting that instead of selling the program for 1,800, to not sell it under 5,000. Just and of course this is at this stage an idea, right? But knowing what she's doing, like I never agreed.
Oh, you keep slipping out.
Integral part, right? Sorry, I think I'm gone again. So it's an integral part. So it's about with what price, with what sum do you feel comfortable? And when we speak prosperity, many go to the money kind of question. So do I feel worthy of 5,000? Do I feel worthy of 10,000? Do I feel worthy of millions? Because that's the idea that brings you forward. If you have integrated this knowledge, this belief that you are worth, or your knowledge, your design, your service, your whatever you offer is worth the money, right? And you can prove it by the results, right? She totally can prove it. So the thing is, it's integrating that prosperous thought that you deserve the millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the work, and there you go. Here you have the recipe with the repetition, to have the imagination, and then repeat, repeat, repeat. You are worth it.
Exactly, yeah. But it's getting that figure down. And I can remember doing this a while back. 25,000 felt like too much, but 20 I felt comfortable with. So I went with 20 initially until I felt comfortable with that, and then I moved it up and moved it up. But it's about, okay, if that doesn't feel comfortable, if 1 million doesn't feel comfortable, is 800 comfortable? So pick 800,
Right. 800,000 a year. Yeah, because I really had clients also starting with like so ridiculous sums, and it's like, oh, just to get clients. But it's like, do you have a service that is of value? Then stand your value. That's the game here, and that's where prosperity comes in. There we go. Yes, so thank you so much, Jackie, and I'm looking forward for next Friday, same time, same place.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ah, prosperity is